All right, so this is what I want you to do for diagonals. It's just a short little activity that you're going to complete in Photoshop and look up some images from Google to show and demonstrate that you understand diagonals. So what you're going to do is specifically you're going to find a background picture. Now the background picture does not have to look anything like mine. It just needs to be a large resolution, good file background picture. It can be anything, okay? And 3 other images. So a background plus 3 other images, and you're going to piece them together on a file new. See, look at default that I can't stand. I'm actually glad this happened. Sometimes it just defaults to pixels. So inches, you're going to do a 7x5 or a 5x7. Resolution 300. RGB white background. You can switch, actually. You can go 5x7 or 7x5. Create. So you're going to move your background picture to this canvas. All right, you have to move it to this canvas and your 3 other chosen images. And I'm going to close this out now because this is mine. I can tell that it's a 7x5. Right click this bar, image size 75300. So I'm good to go there. This is the PSD. You can actually delete the white background. You don't need that. So here is the image and the other 3 that I used. So the goal is to show diagonals. All right. So you're looking for interesting angles. Basically, you're creating a composition using it doesn't have to be like literal diagonal lines, but just like the examples that we saw in the video, they should be very clear and distinct angles. So there are a couple of other compositional techniques being used here in this example. You can also see that I've used the rule of odds. Okay. If I drew a 9x9 grid, you might say there's a little bit of rule of thirds in there too. There's also some other rules of composition going on, but the main one here is clearly this diagonal line that I specifically chose this background because of this strong diagonal line of this brick wall. And then the fact that this guy's laying down is, and I've positioned him diagonally on this wall, which is diagonal. And then the angle of that leads your eye to these other 2 very strange things. You got a little girl here, and then you have an adult-size Annabelle doll. Okay, it's close to Halloween, so I wanted to do some kind of a Halloween theme. Now, when you're finding pictures online, if you don't want to spend 2 hours cutting out something with the polygonal lasso tool, this is what I want you to do. So when you're looking up images, except for your background, hang on a second, there's going to be a loud noise. I'm back. Okay, so yeah, that's a quote from a movie, and it's an old movie. So, all right, I'm gonna look up squirrel. I don't know why I am. Images, right away tools, size, large. Don't forget to do that, okay? It's gonna be all pixely. And then if you don't want to cut out a squirrel, go to color, transparent. And it's going to pull up images. Not all of them are appropriate. Now, don't use the cartoon ones because I want it to look like a real photograph. Like, don't use these, right? It's obviously not a real photograph if you do that. I guess that could be part of your composition. What is that? Anyway. Okay, so perfect. So right click, save image. I'm going to save that to my desktop. I'll open it up, and you'll see I've got a whole bunch of PNGs saved. So it's already cut out, right? Try to find ones that are cut out nicely. Some of the transparent ones they just don't look good. I should have added him. That actually looks pretty good. Yeah, he's there in the foreground. Actually, thinking about angles, that kills the diagonal focus of this because look at how the tail goes from right to left on a very strong horizontal. So that wouldn't be good unless I put him up here. Then it would be good. Try to make it so that it matches. The colors match too. So don't be afraid to play around with. Go up here to this is just a little Photoshop trick. Image, adjustments. And these will put adjustments on the specific layer instead of the whole thing. You guys already know how to do these, where you go down to adjustment layers, okay, where it'll actually change the entire, like the whole thing, the whole picture, including the background. But if you just want to affect an individual layer, you can go to layer, or sorry, image, adjustments. Now, what if I wanted to play around with the color balance? I don't know, just to see if I can get it to match. Here, I'm going to warm him up a little bit, add a little bit of yellow to match the colors of the photo just a little bit better. Press OK. You could also go image, adjustments. You know, you can feel free to play around with the levels. You guys already know how to do levels, but this time the levels is only going to affect the squirrel. I actually kind of like that right there. Boom. Cool. I just added a squirrel to this. So I've got these things lined up on the wall, which has a strong diagonal, and that's it. File, save as, call it whatever you want. I don't care, but you need to save it as a JPEG. So save a copy. Actually, the best way to save a copy is file, save a copy right here. Save on your computer. And then here where it says Photoshop, change it to JPEG. Cool here. Save. Do I want to replace it? I actually don't, because I don't want to change. Well, do I want to change it? Do I like the squirrel or not? I'm going to hit cancel. I like it the way it is. I just wanted you to see how you could go up to image, adjustments, and all of these will adjust just or only the layer, okay? So if I want to affect only this, I can go up to image adjustments. If I want to affect the entire picture, I can go to the adjustment layers, okay? And then you're going to insert your finished example here on this next slide. Insert your JPEG image here, okay? So I would actually copy this, and I would put it right here, nice and big, nice and big. And that is it for that portion. Thank you.